to doing these daily reminders a little bit earlier in the day. So I know, what a shock. What a shock. So, anyway, guys, here we are with another daily reminder for you. And today's daily reminder is stretch yourself. Now, some of you may or may not know, but I injured my shoulder a few months ago. More accurately, I'd have to say I re-injured my shoulder a few months ago. Years ago, I was working out, doing like these butterfly things. I had like this stretch, and I went back too far, and I tore my rotator cuff. And if you've ever had any shoulder injury, it's no fun. So that healed, and things went back to normal, etc. But something happened around October-ish or so. I think it was around that time, maybe a little bit before October. Yeah, around September or so. But something happened, and I hurt my shoulder again. And I hurt it so badly that I lost most mobility of my left arm. Beneath my shirt, I could move things, my fingers, etc. But I lost most mobility in my arms, and I had like this tingling feeling in my forearm and all the way down to my fingers. It wasn't great by any means, but I did the man thing. I decided I was going to deal with it myself and not go get it looked at. I say the man thing jokingly, but anyway, I started working it out, just kind of moving it around and just doing little small exercises. And I just noticed, I was like, man, this doesn't hurt like my other injury hurt, where it just hurt all the time. It was just, I lost a lot of the mobility of my arm. So after talking with a good friend of mine, she was talking about, she had injured her arm, and being the smart person she was, she went to the doctor, and they hooked her up with a physical therapist, and they worked her, to get her mobility back and everything. So she was sharing some of the exercises that she had done, and was talking about the need to stretch. And that's kind of what I've been doing. I started stretching out. I bought these bands where I would, the workout bands. I was using that to stretch, and I had the big heavy medicine ball where I was using to kind of do things to get my mobility back. And I'm proud to say I've got about maybe 90% of my mobility back. So like, if I, raise my hand, you can see, this one had this left arm has less mobility than my right arm. But here's the reality of it. Just like I'm doing right now, I could not do this a few months ago. If you go back and look at some of my old videos, they were like this. I was doing all this stuff with my right hand, my right arm, because like I said, I had no mobility. But what I was doing was every day I was stretching this arm. So I was going in different directions. I, bring it out to the left, bring it out, bring it over to the right, up, down, all around. And I just continue stretching and stretching and stretching. And like I said, now I have about 90% of my mobility back, and it's getting better every day. One of the things that I recognized a couple of days ago, as you can imagine, I've got lights in the studio here, and this light over here, I used to have to turn it on with my right arm because I couldn't reach up this high. I was able to turn it on the other day with my left arm, with my left hand. And I was so excited about it. I was like, wow, I said to myself, I couldn't do this last week. I couldn't do it. So I was really excited about that. So excited about that. So how does that fit into the daily reminder? Well, of course, the lesson there is to stretch yourself. Stretch yourself. Every day you got to stretch yourself outside of your comfort zone, because believe me when I tell you, it was very uncomfortable doing the stretches that I was doing. But it was that weird, that weird hurt where it kind of hurts, but also feels good at the same time. You know what I'm talking about? Maybe not, but it was great. It was absolutely phenomenal. And like I said, it's kind of the same thing with life. Is that if we get stagnant, we become immobile. We become immobile, and we end up just staying where we are, wherever that may be in our lives, whether it be in our business, whether it be in our relationship, whether it be in our health. We have to consistently stretch ourselves to go further, stretch ourselves to go further so that we can reach 100% of our capacity. How else will you reach it? I'm at 90% right now with my left arm, and I'll be at 100% soon. But that came from stretching that arm every single day. So, where are you stagnant in your life? Where are you stagnant in your business? Where are you stagnant in your relationships? Look at where you may be stagnant in your life and stretch yourself, whatever that may be. Whatever that may be. Maybe in business, it's making a few extra calls that you wouldn't have done. Maybe it's going out and doing speaking engagements where you've never done that before. Maybe in your relationship is going on more trips or being more vulnerable, being more open, being more communicative in your relationship. Maybe in your workout routines, you add a few extra pounds. How can you stretch yourself in the areas of your life so you can reach 100% of your capacity? So that's it for today's daily reminder. But I'm going to ask you guys to stretch yourselves. For if you're watching this, I want you to stretch yourself outside of your comfort zone. Leave a comment. If you've never left a comment on any of my daily reminders, I'm going to stretch you or ask you to stretch yourself and leave a comment. Do something outside of what you normally do. Do something outside of what you're comfortable with to get to 100% capacity. So that's it for today, guys. Stretch yourself, and we'll be talking with you tomorrow. Take care, everybody.